far, what's the relationship between the side. Okay, so then that means I'm gonna do the measurements. Okay, I'm gonna look at the measurement that I have. If you look at right here, what kind of empty space that what I have right here. So if you look at this right here, maybe these need to go in a little bit. So I'm gonna go in slightly. Okay, so that would be the first one. Again, roughly, I'm gonna do this. Gonna create a little bit of a nostril right in here. Remember, these are all bare bone. That means we're gonna add the muscle on there right now. So first we just add the nose. Now I'm gonna go back to add a little bit of everything basically. So my nose is a little round, not like pointy, so I'm gonna add it right here. So that's the side profile right here. Okay, now I'm gonna add the lips. Again, remember, this is still the rough sketch right now. It's like we're doing the sketch. We have a little rough sketch, and we're gonna start with a rough sketch, and then we can always go back to fine tune it. Okay, now if you look at the lips, okay, the edge of the lips almost like a right in the middle of your eye pupil right there. Can you see it? Right there. So it's a little bit outside of your nose, right in here. So look at your reference photo, okay? So right now, so again, if I have a lips, if I'm gonna put the lips, so in here, if I put a lip like this one right here, but if I look at my reference photo, the edge of my lips is actually wider than my nose. Okay, so that means this clay probably not good enough. We need it a little bigger. So again, I'm gonna do this right in here. So again, the lips, you got the bottom portions, you got a bottom portion of it, and then you also have a top portion of it. So again, we need to look for that empty space, look for that negative space. So what I would do is I'm gonna roll a little oval shape. You can see the oval, you know, a little almost like almonds. So I'm gonna put it right here like a mustache right here. So if you look at the side profile, actually come out a little bit, not flat. Okay, I'm gonna round it off just a little bit, and there's the outside of my nose too. So that means the end of a listen line. If I go in later, come in with the eyes right here. Your pupil should be right here somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so again, this clay is getting a little dry. Make sure that you actually cover them well or wet them too as well. So I was gonna look at this lips right here, the profile. I don't have it very distinct, but I'm gonna still pushing it down right here just slightly. Okay, so right now I'm gonna round this edges right here. So I'm gonna round them off, because this is going to be my lips. I'm doing it this way too, kind of cut it in an angle right here. So can you see I'm doing my upper lips right now. Okay, so again, look at side profile right here. Is a little bit too big, too small, or looking at it. Okay, so the edges right here, you can always go back to carve it right now, but we want to look for the lips right now. Okay, so the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, so this time I'm going to do the same thing. Again, still a little oval shape right here. Okay, right here. Yeah, this time I'm going to wedge it underneath it right here. So if I'm looking at right here, this look feels a little too dry because I'm sculpting it outside. So I'm going to do it right here. So you can see right here, this is the lips. I'm going to wedge it down there. Okay, now this lips looks a little too big, actually too much clay. So I'm going to go back and get a little small amount of clay this time. How do I know it's a small and big? It's just the experience. So you just have to rip off a few more times of your lips and you will know, you know, sculpting lips. So you can see right now, can you see it? Now I'm going to wedge it in there, and that's going to be my bottom lip. Okay, now this part, what we will do is I will actually push this clay. I'm using the tool that I have, and then wedge it in there to create the edge of the lips right there. And I'm going to push the clay down just a little bit on both sides. So here's the lips. Maybe a little too wide. You know, let me look at it. Looks like that lip comes out just a little bit too much. Maybe because you can see the lip actually top and the bottom looks like the bottom lips are much bigger than the top. So that means I have too much clay. We'll take it out again one more time. Okay. So again, I'm going to wedge it back in there. Much better, much better. Okay, there you go. So again, we'll take the tool, it goes in. Because the lip, the plan of a lip is wrapped around the skull, and skull is round. Therefore, need to round them out just a little bit. And come down right here, the edge of the lip. Okay. So maybe, I still don't quite like it. I think my top lips may be a little too funky, and just because it looks a little thick, and then you can see this lip is going sideways instead of coming down almost like a joker. No, we don't want that. You want to come down just a little bit and then go in. I mean, I don't want that because my lip don't look like that. If somebody looked like that, then you go ahead and sculpt it like that. Okay, so I'm gonna come down just a little bit, but I can fix it. Okay, if I can't, I can always thin it out just a little bit, but I don't quite like this, so it's just like, let's do it again one more time. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I need 2 lump of clay, two. Okay, so one is a little too much. So one is the upper lips, just a little wider, right? I'm gonna push it right here, and using the clay right here, I'm gonna push it down, around the edges, create the lips, upper lips, and then same as this side right here, I'm gonna create the little, so it's actually round, not flat. Okay, a lot of times students do it like a flat. So here you go. So here's the upper lips. I'm gonna take the bottom one. We're gonna wedge down here. Too big. Okay. Gonna wedge down there. Here you go. And that looks okay. I'm gonna use my tool. And same thing right here, using a tool to create the shape of the lip, right? Okay. Now, if you look at the side right here, mine actually has a little chin on the bottom, and this one looks not too obvious. So I'm gonna add a little ball of clay right here to create that. Okay. Sometimes your reference photo can really help you with some of the detail. So what you can do is bring a mirror and always can look at it. Okay. So again, here you go. We can always go back to fix it just a little bit more. But now I'm looking at the lips right here. It's actually kind of joined. Again, this is the time that you should bring out your mirror to look at it. So I'm saying this one kind of had to go in just slightly. We'll go in just a little bit. And we'll add this because that's where 2 lip meets right there, what they look like. You know, pay attention. So again, the edge of your lips right here is on the right end, about right here. Okay, so here's the lips. It looks still a little funky. I might want to take it out again one more time. You know what? Let's do it one more time. 3rd time charms, right? So here you go. Take this, wedge it in here. So I'm using my hand, using my right here. I'm gonna bring the lips down. in again, find that joint line right there, the edge of the lips coming down, same as here, go in, come down. Okay, add a little bit clay on the chin right here, and bring them out. Okay, we can always go back to fix it. Okay, so far that's the lips. Go back to fix it just a little bit more again. Roughly, we want to make sure we move clay around. So now you notice that the next thing I want to do is I'm gonna define this menu bone right in here. So this bone right here, okay, right here. So what I would do is I'm gonna add a little bit of clay. Remember, if you add on both sides, this lip went in just a little bit more. I might have to redo it again. Okay, that's okay. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to add a little bit of eye socket. So what I would take, anytime you want to do the eye socket, try to do it like a bow, like. So what I'm gonna do is right here, I'm gonna add a little bit of a socket bone. And of course, you need to add on both sides. Don't just do one side, okay? If you do it one side, later you're gonna have a problem. So here's a manu bone. Okay. I mean, not manu bone. This is your the cheek. Okay. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of the zygomatic bone right here. I'm gonna add a little bit right here. Bring this bone out. Same thing as this side, and bring this bone out just a little bit right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to look at the cheek, chin. Looks like a little thin right here, so I'm gonna add a little chin. Jar. Oh my gosh, jar. Sorry, when I sculpt that, I kind of forgot what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm adding a little jar. And again, I'm going to come back right here. Add a little jar right here. Jar. Okay. Alright, very good. So slowly, things coming alive a little bit, right? So again. Now this right here the the cheek right here looks a little thin right here, so I'm gonna add just a little bit. The reason I seen that is because if you can see, I got this little bag of a muscle right there, so that means if I look at the side profile, I'm gonna add a little bit more in right here. Same thing as this side, a little triangle. Right. I'm gonna go back. Now I'm gonna look at the side to see, make sure that my jaw right here is matching, so I'm gonna constantly look around to see what's going on with the nose, what's going on with the eyes. Looks a little too, yeah, let me see. I feel like I have a little more like sharper chin, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more right here. Okay. And side profile. Okay. Now I'm looking at this right in here, and I see right now it looks like the angle of my, if you look at the angle of my nose right here, it looks like the nose should be kind of go down just a little bit more. Okay. Okay. So here's the lips. Wow, I sure don't like my upper lips. I'm gonna do it really quickly again one more time. sometimes you just don't have a look. Okay, again, a little round right in here, wedge it in, and make sure it's right in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna wedge it down here with the lips. And it depends on the size of your lip. You can go a little smaller, you can go a little bigger. I'm looking at mine. It's quite thin, so I'm gonna go down. Okay, once I got that defined, if you look at this lips, it's a little too sharp on the edges right here. I'm gonna add a little bit of the clay to catch up that sharpness, because I don't have that. I'm gonna add a little bit of a chin and bring them forward. I'm gonna use my and then maybe a little bit, looks like the lips right here, maybe I add a little bit, a tip of muscle right here to create a little bit of a edge, the pointy lips right there. This will go in. Okay, the edges, make sure they go in. Okay, so let's look at the side profile. Looks, could be a little bit more of this nose. Okay, so right now is the lips. Okay, and then we add a little bit of this. We're gonna come back with the cheek, and then the edge right here is gonna be your ear right here. On the bottom, the bottom of your earlobe is gonna be the edge of your chin. I'm gonna add just a little bit more right here. The reason is because I can see very clearly. Right here there's a shadow, so I'm gonna